Well, hello once again, boys and girls, and welcome to this Alabama adventure. Tonight, a couple of old friends are back out roaming the woods, roaming the mountains, looking for Bigfoot, and they sent us some pictures to look at it because they did find some evidence up there. And that's what I want to show you tonight. Now, who was it? I know a while back, you remember I did a video about a Confederate cemetery. Jack and Bonnie sent us some pictures of that. They sent some pictures of the cemetery. Then after they got to looking around in the woods out there, they began to find signs of Bigfoot. So they sent them to us, and sure was proud to get those pictures. Now they have been back to Duggar Mountain. Duggar Mountain, I have to tell you a little bit about it in a minute. It's I believe it's located in Calhoun and Cleveland County up there. I know the wilderness is, they have a Duggar Mountain wilderness up there now, and I'll tell you a little something about it in a few minutes. But anyway, I want to show you these pictures whenever we get started with this Alabama adventure. But before we do that, I have a couple other things that I want to show you before we get out in the Duggar Mountain Wilderness here in a few minutes.
And now, from the tail end of the Appalachian mountain chain in the heart of the South, this is Alabama Adventures.
Okay, now I know I've changed headgear right quick, and I'm going to tell you a little something about this cap. I'll try to get a little closer where you can see the Bigfoot on the front of it there. Other day I was sitting here at the house, I was working on some Bigfoot stuff, and this very pretty young lady come by and knocked on the door, and I went to see who it was, and I sure was glad to see her. And she is a Bigfoot researcher and a paranormal investigator. She likes ghosts and UFOs and all the same type of stuff that all of us do. Anyway, she came by, and while we were talking about some encounters and that type of stuff, and she brought me a couple of things. She brought me this cap. That's why I wanted to show that to you. I'm certainly proud to get that. And she brought me a decal, this right here, to put on the back glass of my Forerunner out there. She had one on hers. She had a very nice Jeep. I mean, it was a big, heavy-duty four-door Jeep where she could about go anywhere. And sure would like to get with her sometime and ride some dirt roads or some mountainous area. I believe this thing would go just about anywhere. But she was real proud of it, and she certainly should be. It was a very nice heavy-duty vehicle. But anyway, one other place we're going to go as soon as we go to Duggar Mountain and look at those pictures that Jack and Bonnie sent us. We're going to go back across the state to Tuscaloosa County, and I'm going to show you a picture that somebody got of a Bigfoot over there. It's you're going to have to blow the picture up the best you can to see it, but he's standing in the river over there. So anyway, let's get on back to what I was going to tell you about Rabbit Tail. I got to tell you about that. Duggar Mountain and the Duggar Mountain Wilderness area. Well, alrighty, I think I'll just keep my new cap on for a little bit and tell you something about Duggar Mountain. First, let me show you a picture of Duggar Mountain. Alright, here's what I want to tell you about it so you'll know a little something about the place in case you get to go down there sometime and do a little exploring. Anyway, it says, this is from Wikipedia. United States Congress designated Duggar Mountain Wilderness in 1999, and it now has a total of about 9,200 acres. All of this wilderness is located in Alabama and is managed by the Forest Service. It is the third and newest wilderness area to Alabama. The Duggar Mountain Wilderness became part of the National Wilderness Preservation System in December of 1999 when President Clinton signed the legislation. So President Clinton wasn't all bad. As a matter of fact, heck, I liked Clinton when he was in office. He did do some good things. I remember just a few months before he left, he had gas prices down around here. You won't believe this, to 79 cents a gallon. And I remember that very well. Not $1.79. He had it down to 79 cents a gallon because he and Saddam Hussein had reached some type of agreement and stuff, and we were getting all the oil and gas we needed from over there. But anyway, we won't get on politics this afternoon. This wilderness is managed to restore and preserve the natural ecological conditions of the area. It is administered by the USDA Forest Service. In this unique wilderness, you can enjoy challenging recreational activities and extraordinary opportunities for solitude. And that's what I like, is to get out in nature like that, sometimes by yourself or sometimes with somebody, and you would be surprised at how much better you do feel whenever you are out in nature and out in the wilderness. Duggar Mountain Wilderness is named for the nearby Duggar Mountain, which rises to a height of just over 2,100 feet, looking across pasture land into a small community called Rabbit Town. Now, let me tell you a little something about Rabbit Town. I don't know much about Rabbit Town, but I used to go through Rabbit Town about once a month. I live down here. I live close to Auburn, Alabama. I live about 45 minutes north of Auburn. And in Leesburg, Alabama, there used to be a science supply place up there. And about once a month, me and my son would make a trip up there, and we would buy a truckload of science supplies. That's what business I was in back then. And I remember very well we used to go through Rabbit Town on the way up there and on the way back. And the best I remember, there was some type of place to eat there in Rabbit Town. I believe it was a barbecue place. I don't think I ever ate there. But Rabbit Town was just a little wide spot in the road, kind of like where I live now. But I do know very well where Rabbit Town is. Duggar Mountain Wilderness is a picturesque view of tranquility. Duggar Mountain has one of the highest peaks in Alabama and is located in the Talladega National Forest, Shoal Creek District. And Shoal Creek is a place that I would like to visit up there sometime also. The area designated as wilderness encompasses approximately 9,200 acres and brings the total wilderness acres to more than 41,000. About 7% of the total land base in the National Forest is in Alabama. The wilderness encompasses some of the most rugged mountainous terrain in Alabama, as well as numerous endangered and threatened plant communities. Now, that's a little something about the Duggar Mountain Wilderness. And I don't think that there are very many roads, if any, in there because the mountain is so steep and so tall. But anyway, let's get on now to the pictures that Jack and Bonnie sent us. Okay, now the first thing I'm going to do is read you part of their email that they sent so you'll know what's going on up there and what we're going to be looking at. It says, Bonnie and I visited Duggar Mountain today. As you know, Duggar Mountain is the second highest point in the state. It also said to be the most remote place in Alabama, and it undoubtedly is because, as I said, I have been through there, and it is a very remote place. Bonnie and I went to an area that is closed off most of the year and is only accessible during hunting season. I took a couple of pictures that may be Bigfoot signs. I have attached those and also have a few pictures of what we call rock stacking, and that's exactly what it is. The rock stacking is only a small area, about a mile or so. I have talked to some people in the area that have lived around Duggar their entire lives, and they have seen the rock stacking before, but have no idea who or what, when or where the rock stacking was done. The last picture I attached is a sign that the forestry department has put up all over the forest. If you read the sign, you will recognize they have to be brain dead. Of course, we both know that doesn't surprise us. Anyway, if you're interested in any of this, that is fine to use. So anyway, then they also sent another email, and let me see if I can get the paper there separated and we'll read it. There was also a little bit more to what happened on our adventure today. You know, Bonnie and I heard some things that I didn't include in the story that I sent you earlier. I think mainly it was because I didn't want you to think we were crazy. Nothing you can say or do pretty much makes me think people are crazy when it comes to Bigfoot. I knocked on a tree with a small log about midway up the mountain. We listened for a few minutes and heard nothing. Then about a mile or so up the mountain, we were driving with the windows down and heard a loud wood knock. So with the engine running and in first gear driving down the road, we still heard it, so it was really loud. We stopped and listened, turned off the tracker, and didn't hear anything. We both were really surprised how loud it was. We drove up to the summit and sat around for a little while and started our way back down the road. All the time we had been talking loudly that we pose no threat, so and so and so and so, like I have told people to do, talk to them and let them know what you're doing in there. But anyway, about a half mile down the road from the summit, we heard a loud screech. I guess you could say it stopped the truck. Then we heard something that sounded like metallic on metallic scratching together. And after a couple of minutes, we heard rocks hitting together, and then it just got quiet. Bonnie was in the truck, and I was sitting on a rock, and it was deathly quiet, and I started hearing faint, heavy breathing. It was strange. I could not pinpoint where it was coming from. It was almost like it was in my head. I was starting to feel a little uneasy, but not frightened. So we drove the complete trail to the summit, and no one was around anywhere. We were there alone. Now, I want you to look at the pictures of some of the rock stacks that Jack and Bonnie sent. Alrighty, now something else that they found up there that day is this picture right here. It's an X, and something had to put this X in the wood. And as he said, there was nobody around up there. So this is a very large X, and it looks like it's kind of way up in the air. It could be a sign of anything. Sometimes I wonder about these X's. Is it like the old saying, X marks the spot, or is it something that is giving you a warning to not come any further, that you're crossing over into Bigfoot's territory? And in the email, he mentioned the sign that the forestry department had put up, and I want you to see that also. Alrighty, now a few days ago I did a video about Tuscaloosa County and the northern part of Tuscaloosa County. Anyway, somebody sent me a picture that this young lady was going to work one morning. She said it was kind of foggy, and that's why it's not real plain. But if you'll blow this picture up to where you can look just a little ways from the on the right side of the river. This is North River, and she was crossing a bridge out there somewhere, and it's on the right side of the shoreline. You will see what appears to be a very tall bipedal creature out there. Of course, it's Bigfoot, but we always have to say bipedal because Bigfoot hadn't been proven to exist. But you can see this form or this shape, and he has waded out into the water a little ways. And now this was early one morning, and like I said, it was foggy, and she said she could see this thing moving out there, and she grabbed her phone and made a picture of it. And you can tell that there is something out there, and it's bigger than a human. You can also tell that. But this, once again, is from Tuscaloosa County, the North River. Okay, well, I guess we better be bringing this video on to a close. I did want you to see those pictures. That's something that's kind of unusual, is finding rock stacks like that. I have found some in the past, and was in that area the other day. I wish I could have got back out in the woods to look around to see if the rock stacks were there, or how they changed, or what was going on. You can see some of those on the website, AlabamaBigfootSociety.com. I'm not sure what page you're on, but just go through the website and you'll see some rock stacking that I photographed here several years ago now. But anyway, I do want to tell Jack and Bonnie that I do appreciate them sending those pictures down. Some real good evidence up there on Duggar Mountain. I myself would like to explore Duggar Mountain sometime, but that's not going to happen right now. He also mentioned that he had a tracker, and that's what I would like to find, is something like that to get out and get around in on some of these dirt roads and trails that I could at least ride down on if I had a little tracker to get down there. I don't know. But anyway, I also want to thank the young lady from over in Tuscaloosa. I won't call her name, that sent the picture of the Bigfoot out in North River. And as I always do, I guess I'll bring this video to a close and tell you that the Alabama Bigfoot Society is run completely out of pocket. And if you're in a position where you would like to make a donation, that too would be very much appreciated. If you like this video, give me a like. And if you like what we're doing down here with all our paranormal investigations and work and stories that we tell sometime and sidetracks that we get on, hope you would subscribe to the channel. And I guess with all that being said, as Hank Williams used to say, good Lord willing and the creeks don't rise, I guess I'll see you somewhere on down the trail.